When something is important enough, you do it, even if the odds are not in your favor. What makes innovative thinking happen? I think it's really a mindset. You have to decide. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. A company is a group organized to create a product or service, and it is only as good as its people and how excited they are about creating. I don't want to recognize a ton of super talented people. I just happen to be the face of the companies. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. When Henry Ford made cheap, reliable cars, people said, "Nah, what's wrong with a horse?" That was a huge bet he made, and it worked. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. If something has to be designed and invented, and you have to figure out how to ensure that the value of the thing you create is greater than the cost of the inputs, then that is probably my core skill. I wouldn't say I have a lack of fear. In fact, I like my fear emotion to be less because it's very distracting and fries my nervous system. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. I don't believe in process. In fact, when I interview a potential employee and he or she says that it's all about the process, I see that as a bad sign. The problem is that at a lot of big companies, process becomes a substitute for thinking. You're encouraged to behave like a little gear in a complex machine. Frankly, it allows you to keep people who aren't that smart, who aren't that creative. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. I'm interested in things that change the world or that affect the future and wondrous. New technology where you see it and you're like, wow, how did that even happen? How is that possible? Brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. When somebody has a breakthrough innovation, it is rarely one little thing. Very rarely is it one little thing. It's usually a whole bunch of things that collectively amount to a huge innovation. Work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in 80 to 100-hour weeks every week. This improves the odds of success. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Don't delude yourself into thinking something's working when it's not, or you're gonna get fixated on a bad solution.